Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe, with episode 8 of my ongoing X-Files episodes. Ice, from November 5th, 1993, directed by one David Nutter, who directed Disturbing Behavior back in 98, written by Glen Morgan and James Wong. David Nutter will come back as director in the X-Files, mostly in season 2, 11 episodes in season 2. He really was put to work in season 2. So I'm curious to see how that sort of carries out. Our guest cast includes 2 notables for sure. Steve Hytner is his name. Murphy, I think he's Murphy in this. He's Kenny Benya from Seinfeld. Surely you remember him. 6 episodes in Seinfeld, actually, he was in. And then Xander Berkeley as Dr. Hodge. He was a federal agent, Agent Gibbs in Air Force One, and he's got an extended filmography. So Ice, man, Ice is interesting. It's kind of a throwback feel to the main influences for Chris Carter on this episode was Who Goes There, from 38, the original novella that will give life to the 1951 Thing from Another World, and John Carpenter's masterpiece from 82, The Thing. But also an excavation in Greenland, an article he read in Science News, which I don't know exactly what the excavation was in that, but it does play as an influence in here. So, and interesting, Greamy Murray, if I said that right, he's part of the production crew on this in terms of set decoration, I think. But also he was the set decorator up in Stewart, British Columbia on the filming of The Thing. So there's that little connection. That's kind of interesting. So basically what you have here is a mass murder / suicide amongst a group of geophysicists and at an outpost in Icy Cape, Alaska. And so, you know, a last transmission of sorts was sent out. And so they have put together a team of a geophysicist, toxicologist, and of course Mulder and Scully. And so kind of and then you've got Bear, who is the pilot of the plane that takes them there, which is great. I think it's the guy who plays Dr. Hodge. He's wanting to see credentials at the beginning as they're at on the tarmac getting ready to get out of there. He wants to see everyone's credentials, and when Bear shows up, he asks him for his, and he's like, credentials? My credentials are I'm the only one who's going to fly you from here to there. If you don't like those credentials, you can walk. And so he plays an interesting character. But so you have this mass murder suicide event. And so, you know, the idea is go and see what has happened at this place. And what they discover, in fact, is everyone is dead. There is a dog that's been infected, and Murphy's analysis is perhaps there has been ice core samples that have been taken from an area where a meteor crashed some 250,000 years ago. Some parasitical worm-like creature organism, perhaps extraterrestrial, perhaps. And they have the idea of once they're in your system, they take over you and then heighten the aggressive behavior in you, causing you to do harm to others, ultimately even to yourself. If someone else comes into proximity, they're also infected. They sort of cancel each other out, as we sort of see in the beginning. But if somebody has a worm parasite in them, and if you can introduce another worm into the host, then they'll both cancel each other out, and the infection will be gone. And so this kind of plays out as one of those episodes where you're like The Thing. You're isolated. Bear is a casualty very quickly on, so you've lost your pilot. There is a storm moving in, so those who have the ability of coming to get you can't come and get you. And so you're sort of stuck in this isolated area having to deal with the threat of infection and the trust issue, like the whole trust issue. Not knowing who's infected, possibly, maybe. And so, people act accordingly to that. And really, other than that, there's not really a whole lot to say about this episode. I mean, it's a great episode. It's a fun episode. It's just in terms of mythology, in terms of just overarching story. You can say that this on its own merit probably helps to lay what is a greater foundation for the threat of extraterrestrial tropes, I guess, or motives throughout the series. But it is sort of an isolated creature feature type episode. I think Scully probably really steps to the forefront here. Her acting in this episode is might be the best up to this point. It's a great, and it's no wonder this guy gets work for 11 episodes. I can't get my mind wrapped around that in season 2. This is a great episode, a phenomenal episode, well cast, well written, and well played out. Just the heightened tension of not knowing for sure who is and who isn't, and how that ultimately plays out towards the end. Decisions the group has to make. You can see who the influence of who goes there. You can see it through and through. It's really a nice nod to that novella, and of course the films that will come after that. David Nutter, director, also it's just tons of TV to his credit. Ice, atmospheric, good use of tension, and I don't know what else I can say about it. It was a fun episode. It's a great episode. I'm sure other episode will lend itself to much more discussion in terms of the complexity of what's going on here. Not a lot going on here. It's just it is what it is. It's great though. It's great. It's great. So I'll just cut this short today and leave it at that. And if it's been a while since you've seen Ice, go back, revisit, man. It's a phenomenal episode. And we're leaving disc 2 already. And so the next one, I'm not sure what's coming up next, but we will be into disc 3 already. So making a little bit of a headway into this incredible box set that I have here. And so I'm curious. 8. Not quite halfway into the season though. We got a few more to get before we hit that halfway point. So X-Files, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the views and the comments and everything you guys bring. If you haven't subbed, please sub. Hit the like. Anything and everything always helps, man. As always, we end these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream.
We might be useful to you.